What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we'll be talking about Big Brother.
And we will take a look at Monte's exit interviews.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, won it, securing the bag.
Women, because that would be the first time that would happen in Big Brother history. And I'm all about being a part of that. So,
well, obviously, congrats on second place. It's not what you wanted. How are you feeling about being, losing to Taylor when you obviously took her to the end? Do you feel like you underestimated her, ability to convince the jury, or her strategy, or her story? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think as far as how I generally feel, I don't know if I would have done anything differently looking back on it, because I looked at the two people who I had the option of choosing, and both I really would have loved to sit next to, just for the way that they played their games and how honorable they have been as people throughout this time from what I've seen.
All right, so I feel like right now a lot of people aren't really feeling Monte. Like some of the subtle things that he did, especially I feel like the beginning, it was really shaky with Monte, and the end was horrible with Monte. Going back to Monte's gameplay, I feel like Monte really played his game really well. I feel like he got sloppy in some points, but I think for me, the thing that hurt Monte was the fact that he did not make any big moves. I think in the Winner Circles, their podcast episode they did with Monte, he basically talked about, like, Turner basically dropped the hint and said that, during the commercial breaks, everybody already said that, they're voting for Taylor no matter what. She's in the chair, they're voting for her. Which, I mean, it's an easier pick. It's like one of those things where I feel like Taylor did deserve it. A lot of people in my comment section don't think that Taylor deserves it. I feel like Taylor did deserve that win. She worked hard. She won 2 HOHs. She did what she had to do to win, and she persuaded the jury, period.
But I truly thought that against Turner, his resume was way more stacked than mine. And if I were to sit next to him, it would purely be a resume conversation, right? Whereas with Taylor, I felt like there was a little bit more margin with my resume versus hers. But you're completely, you mentioned something around underestimating her ability to communicate to the jury. That was something I didn't consider, is how well she would be able to resonate her story with how much she's overcome, being on the block 6 times, I guess. And, everybody who sat next to her went home, and her also controlling her own destiny, winning her fair share of HOHs. It says a lot about the person that she is and her gift in communication. I definitely applaud her for that. Now,
thinking non-biasedly, right? I feel like a lot of these exit interviews swayed a lot of people's opinion, and that's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just going off of what I've seen. I feel like the questions that were asked in a lot of people's exit interviews made it. They asked questions like, why do you feel like you hated Taylor? Or everything was about Taylor. So I feel like a lot of people with the exit interviews, a lot of people were already like, oh my God, did I treat Taylor bad? And then when they see it, like when they see her doing good in the show, then like in the jury house, they're probably like, oh, Taylor, oh, she's doing good, It's like you start rooting for this person, So I feel like everybody was rooting for Taylor. Even the jury was rooting for Taylor. Then you have Michael and Brittany, they're going to always boost up Taylor. And you have Joseph, of course, he's boosting up Taylor. So I feel with Monte and Turner, I even said it. I felt like Monte was going to take Turner because they were so loyal. Monte was so pressed on making a big move, but the thing that he failed to realize was his whole gameplay was a big move. Like, he didn't have to win all these competitions to make a big move. Like, he did exactly what he needed to do. He put himself in the rooms, he made decisions when he had to make it, and I feel like he was a solid player. Like, I feel like out of all the players in the house, for me, it was Michael, Monte, and Amira that I feel like were great players. I just feel like Amira was taken out early, but that was to her detriment,
Has anyone told you that you probably would have won against Turner?
I was talking to my mom in here, and she sort of hinted at it, and
you would have won, sadly.
Loser! Yeah, it's a surprise to me because and maybe this is where a little bit of the the gameplay came in when I've had conversations with Taylor and Brittany, and I think they put the fear of God in me about sitting next to Turner.
But the whole situation with Paloma, I feel like Monte was the catalyst that started everything with Taylor. And if you watch any of my earlier videos, you will see that I read Monte down. I dragged him for life because I'm like, how's nobody else seeing that he's over here lying to Paloma about the whole situation because he didn't want nobody to come for him. But instead of you, my whole thing with Monte was you sacrificed Taylor's game so you wouldn't have got thrown on the bus. And she was just saying like, hey, you know, go to Monte, talk to him because we don't want anything to happen with the girls. We don't think anybody's coming for you. They got twisted. Everybody attacked Taylor, and that started the whole snowball. I feel like Monte is going to have a lot to think about because if it was me and I picked Taylor, you know, I feel like Taylor made history and it was what it was. But I feel like Monte is going to have to do a lot of thinking because now, like, he lost the game. He's out. I mean, he's still walking away with some money. $75,000. I mean, that's a good chump change. That's not chump change, but that's a good chunk of change. Like, you probably walk away with at least like $50K. Like that, he should be happy.
And I've had conversations with Taylor and Brittany, and I think they put the fear of God in me about sitting next to Turner. Because in my mind, from the conversations that I had with them, you know, Brittany and her efforts to stay, she had said like, look, if you're sitting next to Turner, like you are going to lose. And I think eventually that thought just cemented in my mind. And knowing that now, yeah, of course, I probably would have made that decision then, especially since we've been so close throughout the entire season. I literally hated the fact that I had to choose between two of them.
I feel like Monte did everything that he could do in his power to win. I just felt like, especially during his speeches, he was talking about, well, you know, I need to make a big move. So taking out Turner was my big move. To be honest, it kind of wasn't. Turner was only a threat because he lasted long in the house. I feel like Monte could have easily said when they asked him, like, one of the jury questions, he talked about taking out Turner, the first jury question. His second jury question, he said it again. And my whole thing was, Monte, all you had to do was, you know, I won the power of veto, and I used the power of veto to take out Michael. That was the biggest move in the fucking game. So that's why I was like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, for me, I felt like even if the jury was like, let's say the jury was like, you know, I don't know who to vote for. They didn't have that like whole conversation, right? I feel like off of Monte's answers for me, I was like, Monte, what are you talking about? You already brought up Turner. Like that, like you already brought that up. So why are you bringing that up again?
That we talked to Turner, and Turner was in the jury during the commercial breaks. And what you don't know is that after the roundtable, so well before the speeches tonight, the jury was telling Turner that they all collectively decided that if Taylor was in those final two chairs, they were voting for her no matter what. And so I tell you that because you might second guess. Cody was talking about it. He was a runner-up. You might second guess the way you answered something, or could I have done it different? So, you know, if Turner's telling the truth and I believe him, there's nothing you could have done. And I want you to take that because I think that'll help you as you go forward and process everything.
Like Monte, I could definitely see him coming back for an all-star season. He's a great player, but there's a lot of things that he did was problematic, like I said. And I feel like that whole last scene with him not sleeping in the bed with Taylor and then like really degrading her. But like I said, I respect the fact that he came to her very clear, very concise, but I did feel like he went a step beyond that was unnecessary, and that's something I didn't like, you know? Like, for me, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not a perfect person, you know? I talk shit just like the next one, so it's like, I don't know how I'm still working on being tactful with people and talking to them very clearly, directly, like how I do at work. Sometimes me at work being like in working with a team in like corporate America, I try to be very tactful, very straightforward, but like outside of work, it's like, I could take my shoes off, you know, I can really talk my talk. So I feel like Monte really should have talked to Taylor with a little bit of care. But I mean, Taylor seems like she's a very forgiving person, and it is what it is. With Monte, I feel like overall, I give him a solid A as a player. He was a great player. I just feel like I wouldn't give him an S rank off of the simple fact that I feel like a lot of people in this house was scared to make big moves. Even Michael. Michael could have easily got out Monte. Michael could easily got out Turner plenty of times. But they never took the shot. The only time they took the shot was with that POV. And that was just because of double elimination. And to be honest, like, during a normal week, could they even take a shot on Michael? Because he probably wouldn't have won POV. So it is what it is, y'all. But like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the views. Thank you for all the support. Comment down below, do you agree with anything that Monte says? You know that Monte is very much problematic. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm trying to get all these exit interviews. Like I said, I'm on vacation, so it's going to be hard, but we're going to get them out. Talk to you guys later. Peace. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right here. Hit one of the videos right here or right here. See you guys later.